was 16, I shook walls. Some fell, and some fell on me. And today, 5 years later, at the age of 21, I'm here with a flare of hope to my fellow youth that we can take down these walls and instead build wooden fences. Still, at 16, I was at Form 2 in Mwasaru School, adorned in a gray short, no louder signal than junior member of the school community. At this time, I was this peculiar member of the society who would walk around with a blue notebook, trying to note down every single problem that I would see. To add insult to the injury, I used to be the same person who used to walk around with a laptop around school. Well, at that era where being near a laptop was being synonymous with all kinds of vices you could imagine of. So I was the resident hard knock, kichwa ngumu. So I was balancing on a shoestring. Blessed with all the inquisitiveness, we set out for more trouble. We used a human waste bioreactor. You had me right. A human waste bioreactor where we would try and solve a sewer system problem in the school. So with this system, we would use your trash, your waste, your human waste, and transform it into gold, biogas. Needless to mention that our very first prototype actually exploded. So you could imagine the kind of talk which was in the staff room. So we had two things to prove to the school. First of all, that we knew what we were doing, and second of all, come up with what would be a better version of our prototype. We were fortunate enough to get enough resources to have a better version of it, which currently powers the school kitchen. At the age of 18, graduating Mwasaru School, we set out to develop Green Pact because we came to a realization that, this isn't just about my school and its neighboring community. It's about 9 million Kenyan households who can't afford renewable energy and affordable sanitation. Yes, we have been fortunate enough by the virtue of the work that we are doing at community level to be featured by both local and international media. However, there is one question that they haven't been very keen to ask: the journey, the setbacks, and the motivation, which is why I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leroy Mwasaru, and I am here to take down a wall with your help. Leading a company and owning a company, nobody gave me the heads up that, in just a single day, you'd have to send out hundreds of proposals, hundreds of emails, not to mention the tireless sleepless nights. And it was only later on where we relentlessly set out to feed into a vision that we're able to get enough resources and investors who bought into our mission. And in the word of my longtime mentor, Mr. Strive Masiiwa would say, an entrepreneur fights in the condition, not on the condition. A very important aspect to this is the principle of getting lucky, adjusting your sail to the wind. I have been lucky at the age of 16, traveled across the continent and across the globe, telling the Green Pact story and getting people to invest into our mission and work at community level. However, most of these experiences are more often plagued with awkwardness. I, naturally, am an introvert, so it would be very awkward for me to begin with a pleasantry and then get down to business and tell you what I do, and then tell me what you do. And so, as this went on, it dawned on me that there is one thing that still today is very fundamental: the key principle of building both personal and professional relationships. I can't stress on a more important example than my recent alma mater, the African Leadership Academy. Here, I had classmates who, till to date, are some of my very close friends, and also till to date, I work with them with some of the initiatives that I lead. It takes a village to raise a child. Likewise, it takes a child to raise a village. The community in itself is a very circular one, and there is nothing that you put into the community that will ever go to waste. And so, as the narrative is in today's Kenya, in today's Africa, in today's world, that the well-off have to lead in terms of giving off, I digress and stress that instead, giving starts with you. Giving starts with giving your most important asset, time, to whichever cause that you care for. Every month, I contribute my time and my little resources to a cause I care for. Well, I must admit that that's the most selfish thing that I do, mainly from the satisfaction that I derive from it, which leads me to why I started Camp Buni, a disruptive education startup which seeks to encourage youth aged 13 to 18 and create a very enabling platform for them to solve for problems that they face every day, and instead of instead of copying what's being done in the West, create our own African solutions. Identifying a problem in the education system is one thing, and more often, the easier option. However, fixing that solution and that loophole in the education system is another, which is what we are doing with Green Pact. With a curriculum by the youth, for the youth, we are creating a platform for youth as young as 13, as young as even 12, to be able to come up with solutions that they can be proud of and be very sure that this will empower my local community. And it's not until that is done when we can now exalt our very audacious Vision 2030. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I am not here to pass on the baton because still it's my race. However, I am here to extend the rope to you and my fellow youth so that we can be able to rope in the future that we want. Asante, and in my language, we would say, Shawusha.